taste test. It smells like honey, which is pretty crazy. Like a lot like honey. Wow, that's really, really, really good. I'd say like if you mix like some lemonade and put a bunch of honey in it, that's what it tastes like. That is really cool. There's a bunch of mold on top of this, and I did not think that it would actually be good because it looked like green weirdo mold which when I've done this before in the past, he's usually resulted in like a weirdo carpety, moldy sort of taste to it, but this is nothing like that. So I posted this video yesterday, and I found out that mold can actually cause problems physically if it's not checked and if it's not regulated well. What? I've done a ton of research on this. I've heard a ton of podcasts on this. I've done my own wild stuff 100 times, and I have been tasting mold left and right. And I found out through one of my videos that someone commented that I can actually cause physical problems. All I knew was that if you did your pH at 4.5, you got alcohol actually fermented, and you waited 30 days and it smelled good, you're fine. Like, you're not going to get like weird stuff like E. coli, which could get in there, which, for the record, researching about this made me more nervous because that's not 100% guaranteed. And then I do more research, and botulism can be part of this. It's a very low percent. It's very extremely rare that can happen, and no one in beer making history has ever had it. But what the hell? I thought I was like doing all these right steps. So for botulism, the same thing. Like, oh yeah, shouldn't survive below a pH of 4. Hasn't been tested in beer before, but it's been tested in meat. And in meat and stuff in a pH of 4.5 or below, you're fine. But with proteins in beer, we don't know. No test has been done. So my mind is blown. I had this whole grand scheme of doing this whole cool series with Can You Ferment with it. I was going to do all sorts of fun things, and mold was on it. I was still going to taste it. If there was weirdo bacteria on it, I was still going to taste it because I had a plan, and I knew that if I had these certain parameters in place, I should be fine. I tasted this beer that you just watched. I just dipped my wand right in there, and there's mold all over the top. And that was 3 days ago. And I can maybe get really sick off this. Oh. So there is a thing you can do where you can separate the yeast from the mold if mold grows. And you basically take, from what I've read off this Milk the Funk site, which ruined my life today. Thank you guys. But it's really informative and very important to know. You can separate mold from yeast. If there is fermentation and there is mold, then you basically take that and make another starter out of it in a starter that's at 4.5 pH or lower, and then you scale it to a 1 gallon batch, and that batch has a 4.5 pH or lower starting, and then you have to let that go for a month. If it smells good at that point and no mold is growing, then you should be fine to taste it. So that's like a 2-month process there just to grow one starter. So I don't know what to do. My world got opened up a little bit here. I had no idea that there was quite this much to it. I didn't know there was this much danger in it. So this easily could be the 2 videos I do. This one and the Can You Ferment It with lemon peels. Unless there's like 2-3 month gap in between each one. But even if there's mold on it, I don't know what to do with that. Because most of the things I want to ferment with are going to probably create mold. And you can't do things where you can like dip it underneath the wort or dip it in for a second, and then yours should be fine as long as that is removed, or if it's submerged. But the only way to be 100% sure is to send it to the lab. And I don't have access to labs. I don't have access to see what I'm looking at. It's going to cost a ton of money to send it and get back the results, which would be the ideal situation. So I don't know what to do with this. I just want to have this extra conversation laid on the table. We'll see what happens. Let's just end it here. I hope I just didn't get fucking botulism.